Have you ever danced so hard at a party that the next morning your legs refuse to cooperate? Now imagine, you can't stop dancing, not because the music is too good, not because you're having fun, but because something is forcing you to move. Your body is exhausted, your feet are bleeding. You want to stop, but you just can't. Sounds like a bizarre legend, right? A wild fantasy from a medieval fairy tale? But this is real history. This actually happened over 500 years ago. The Dancing Plague of Strasbourg, 1518. One of the strangest, most unsettling mysteries in recorded history. And to this day, no one knows exactly why it happened. Was this a disease, a psychological phenomenon, or something even more unexplainable? And more importantly, could something like this happen again? Get ready, because what you're about to hear might just make you think twice before joining the next dance-off. At the time, Strasbourg, now part of France, was under the rule of the Holy Roman Empire. The people were struggling with famine, disease, and extreme social pressure, making life incredibly stressful. Belief in superstition and divine punishment was strong. Many thought disasters and plagues were punishments from supernatural forces. One day, a woman named Frau Trophea walked into the street and began dancing uncontrollably. There was no music, no festival, no explanation. Yet, she just kept dancing. She danced for hours, then the next day, and the next. People must have been confused. Someone probably stood there watching, thinking, we don't even have TikTok yet, why is she starting a trend? Within a week, 34 more people started dancing. Within a month, the number exploded to over 400 people. They danced day and night, regardless of the weather. It was like an invisible DJ was playing the most infectious track ever, and no one could stop moving. Many collapsed and died from exhaustion, strokes, or even broken bones from dancing too much. The city officials panicked. They had no idea what was happening. They tried an odd solution. They hired musicians to play for the dancers, thinking it might help them dance it out of their system. I have no idea who thought this would work, but clearly it didn't. The local leaders were completely baffled by the situation. Some believed it was a divine punishment, so they tried religious solutions. They set up special dance halls where people could keep dancing, hoping they would eventually stop on their own. They even brought in live music to try and calm the dance fever. Instead, more people joined in, making the situation even worse. After weeks of madness, the dancing gradually stopped, but no one knew why. Some of the dancers were taken to a shrine to pray, and mysteriously, they stopped dancing afterward. But to this day, there is no clear explanation for what really caused the outbreak. So what really happened? What caused hundreds of people to fall into this bizarre, unstoppable dance? Was this a disease, a psychological reaction, or was something supernatural at play? In the next section, we'll dive into the scientific theories and strange explanations behind the dancing plague of 1518. Stay tuned. There are many theories about what caused the dancing plague, but no one knows for sure. Let's break down the most compelling ones. Theory number 1. Ergot poisoning. The medieval LSD-1 theory is that the dancers had consumed ergot-contaminated rye, a type of fungus that grows on damp grain. This fungus contains ergotamine, a chemical similar to LSD. If people ate contaminated bread, they might have experienced hallucinations, muscle spasms, and uncontrolled movements, symptoms eerily similar to what was happening in Strasbourg. But here's the problem. Ergot poisoning usually causes convulsions and gangrene, not prolonged, coordinated dancing. If this was just a case of bad bread, why didn't people stop to eat, drink, or even sleep? Something doesn't add up. Theory number 2. Mass hysteria. The power of the mind. Another widely accepted theory is that this was a case of mass hysteria, also known as a psychogenic illness, a condition where extreme stress and fear cause physical symptoms. Strasbourg, in 1518, was a pressure cooker of suffering. Famine, disease, and religious superstition all contributed to a highly anxious population. Some people believed they had been cursed by Saint Vitus, a religious figure associated with compulsive dancing. Could it be that their belief in the curse actually made them lose control of their own bodies? Theory number 3. A secret cult or ritual. Some historians have suggested that the dancing plague might have had religious or cult-like origins. In some medieval communities, people performed wild, trance-like dances to purge themselves of sins or invoke divine protection. Could this have started as a religious practice that spiraled out of control? Again, there's no solid evidence, but the theory remains on the table. Theory number 4. Something we still don't understand. And then, of course, there's the possibility that we still don't know the real answer. Some researchers believe that the dancing plague might have been caused by a combination of factors: stress, psychological influence, unknown toxins, or even something we haven't yet discovered. Either way, one thing is clear: this wasn't an isolated event. Now, here's the most unsettling question. Could the dancing plague happen again? Believe it or not, similar cases of mass hysteria have happened in modern times. 1962, the Tanganyika laughter epidemic. A mysterious outbreak of laughter hysteria spread through schools in Tanzania, with students uncontrollably laughing for weeks. It spread from school to school, affecting hundreds of students before gradually fading away. 2006, the Portuguese teen sickness. More than 300 students across multiple schools in Portugal suddenly developed symptoms of difficulty breathing, dizziness, and rashes. Many of them had recently watched a popular teen soap opera where a character exhibited similar symptoms, leading researchers to classify it as a case of mass hysteria. 2011, the Leroy, New York case. A group of teenage girls in a small American town developed unexplained twitching, vocal outbursts, and tics. Doctors ruled out medical causes, concluding that the symptoms were due to mass psychogenic illness, triggered by stress and social factors. 2016. The Havana Syndrome. Several U.S. diplomats in Cuba reported experiencing dizziness, nausea, and cognitive difficulties. While theories range from sonic weapons to psychological stress, some experts suspect mass hysteria played a role in amplifying symptoms. And in today's world, with stress, anxiety, and social influence at an all-time high, some scientists believe that mass hysteria events could become more frequent. So who knows? Maybe the next dancing plague won't involve dancing at all, but something else entirely. So what do you think? Was the dancing plague a case of poisoned bread, a psychological phenomenon, or something more supernatural? Leave a comment or message us with your thoughts. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe for more fascinating mysteries from history. Thanks for listening to The Hidden Truth. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep questioning everything, because the truth is always stranger than fiction.